All right, guys, so what we're going to go through next, we actually have two Old Bridge alumni. We have Paul, we have Brandon, and they're going to go through what you guys should be doing every day, whether it be in practice or before a game, to really get your arm loose with bands. Right? All the older guys usually have the bands. Younger guys usually get to borrow and use them as well. So they're just going to put you through what you should be doing daily to stretch out your arm, both arms, before you get to throw. All right, go ahead.
So the first exercise I usually do is I'll put my lead leg out first, my hands together over my head, elbows in tight, just extend. Gets like your triceps loose and your shoulders and your back too.
All right, what do you usually do, 3 to 10?
Yeah,
you set to 10.
Sets of 10.
Okay.
Brandon, you got one for us?
Yeah. What I usually do is, this is more of a elbow external and internal rotation. So I'm here 90 degrees, core tight, and you just extend out with your arm, keeping your elbow straight. You don't want to be out here. You want it in tight, core tight, extend it out. And then you can do it on the other side. Same thing. Keeping the elbow at 90 degrees. Keep your elbow in.
And just make sure if you're feeling that you can't do what Brandon's doing here easily, that means you're too far away. All right, it's the resistance is too tough. So what you would do is you just get a little bit closer to the fence, and that would now allow for you to do the same exact drills, keeping that elbow in nice and tight. All right, because the whole point, you're stretching out below here, you're stretching out the top of your shoulder. You don't want to be pulling away. All right, Paul, what do you got next for us?
So the next one, kind of in the same position, at a 90-degree angle with the lead leg out, hands behind your back. You just come in, stretch out your back, shoulders, then you can turn around, do the same thing.
Make sure when you're doing these two, see when Paul gets back to the top here, so just hold it next time you get here. All right, he's pinching his shoulder blades. All right, so really pinching in here. So if you want to come around, just get back to that position here. All right, when you get to this pullback, you should be pinching right in there. Feel the blades pinch together.
All right, down here. Now you're in this position. Same thing. Arm at 90 degrees. You want to come up at 90 degrees, right? You don't want to be here. You want to make sure it looks like a nice L. So, or reversed L from your angle. So here, core tight. And then you can do it reversed.
It'd just be a huge ball. Yeah, and they'll know him by heart eventually. Because the younger guy, a lot of the younger guys. Yeah, so I mean, it really doesn't matter.
All right, we got another one for Paul here. You want to take a look?
This is what I usually finish up with. I'll start like facing the fence, then lead leg out, start from kind of down here, just get up to your release point.
Sure.
Stretch out your chest, front of your shoulder. You do set the time.
You got one more?
Yeah, I can do one more.
Oh yeah, sure. One more.
This is the last thing I do. It's for shoulder rotation, just stretching out your shoulder. You're holding the band with 3 or 4 fingers, whatever is comfortable for you, and you're just clockwise 20, and then counterclockwise 20 each. And then you could reverse. This is all to loosen up the shoulder.
And just one thing, just make sure, if you look at where the band is connected, right, that connection with most of these shoulder drills is at the height of your shoulder. You don't want to be too low, you don't want to be too high. All right, so when you go up to the fence, you want to mark it off. So you could say, all right, I'm about right here with my shoulder. That means my band should be right around this area. All right, and the last one Paul's going to show you here, these are just a bunch of drills. We're actually going to go through an entire sequence in another video. But this is the last one that we're going to do, really getting you prepped to throw a baseball. So if you look at Paul here, he's really going through his entire motion, keeping his core tight, keeping his front shoulder on, simulating everything you do in a game, just like we were talking about in the other drill. Shoulder over the front knee, and really extending out, eyes on. All right, so these are just a couple of examples of drills that we're going to be expecting you guys to do for every time that you throw. And like I said, we're gonna have the next video that shows you and puts you through a sequence if you're somebody who hasn't really done this before. All right.
Mike, hold on. So I'm gonna ask you guys some questions for the tape.
Yeah, sure.
So Paul, can you stand there? All right, Mike, go ahead.
Good.
So let me ask these guys some questions. When do you do these the most? When's your most important time to do band work?
I mean, for me, of course, it's always, for the game, especially when I have to pitch. I think bands are important. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily choose any specific day. I think every day is actually really important. So, it keeps my arm healthy, and just getting in that routine of doing it every day, it's good for me. It's good for everybody who does it. So.
Paul, when you do the bands, do you feel looser? Do you feel like your body's been stretched out better?
Yeah, I feel loose after I do them.
Your
'cause I feel
shoulder.
like I'm stretched out. There you
Yeah,
go.
good. Do you do them after you throw, ever?
Yeah, absolutely. I do it to recover. So after I throw, it definitely is good to keep that movement going. So.
Paul, are you doing them at all pre-season for your college
Oh
year
yeah, I do
at
them.
home?
I do them at home sometimes. I usually do them every day before I throw, or before I do a recovery day. Some days, pick up one, I should throw, you just do weighted balls and stuff. But I'll still do bands regardless of whether I'm throwing or not that day.
Do you have your own bands? You have them at home?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
Okay. So guys, one thing with our bands, you can't come to practice without a band. You have a band, you practice. You don't have a band, I'm not giving you one. You're gonna go home. So make sure you got a band, $30, whatever it is. If you need a band, you really can't get one, I'll get you one. I'll get you one if you need it, but you're not coming out there without them. It's just like running to the pen. There's no alternative. I know I sound like a hardhead, but that's the way it goes.
I'm pretty sure that you can go to the trainer. They got a whole box, a big box. They can
Beautiful.
cut you pieces. So if anything, if you can't afford one of the bands that we have here, not a big deal. It doesn't matter what kind of band you have, as long as you have some sort of band that'll work. So the next time you guys get back into school, I'll be going to check with one of the athletic directors to see if they have bands that they could give out to you. But it shouldn't be a problem to get a band.
And one more thing, look, we're saying you gotta have them. It's a rule that can't be broken because it protects your arm. We've had a great run of not having people with sore arms. Everybody gets a little tired sometimes, but we've stayed away from pretty good injuries, except with Zach at a knee, and that was not from us. Some of it, of course, it was just wear and tear on his labrum and on his tendon and his elbow. So, and he worked back from it, much to his credit, and that's what makes his loss so hard. Is that he's such a bulldog, that kid. So that's tough stuff. Anyway, so that's why we're hard on this. So just do not mess with it. All right. Sorry to deliver a hard message on tape, but earlier you hear it, the better.